Near deaths, kidnapping, and somebody is out of Bayview. We are breaking it all down for you right here on AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, starting now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday afternoon. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's Emmy Award-winning daytime soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I'm joined by my usual gaggle of gals. We have to my far left.
I thought I was like seizing or something.
It's the new studio.
It's the new studio.
Yeah,
Thank you to everyone here,
Thank
especially
you.
Ryan, on our new studio.
Thank
Yes.
you. Anyways, I'm Michael Mattes.
And of course, we have
A mess as
Hello,
usual.
Chelsie Overocker.
and our lovely and beautiful Miss Tammy Govea is chilling out, maxing, relaxing, and cooling in the palm of the springs. So we give a big shout out to you, Miss Tammy Govea, as you bask in the sun, rejuvenating and hopefully not becoming someone else. If you're watching us live, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're watching us later, thanks for the extra view. We appreciate it. Make sure you like it and share it with a friend. Also, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are DISHIN Days on Instagram and Facebook, and _ DISHIN Days on the Twitter. The @ is still in Blythe. If you're listening to us on iTunes, hello, podcast listeners. Give us 5 stars and also give us a comment. Let us know that you like it and love it and want more of it. That sounded tasty. Just saying. And of course, if you like other soap operas such as Young and the Restless and General Hospital, hey, we have those recaps for you too. You can check out Restless Rap and also GH Report right after our show. And it's a special GH Report because the OGs of the show are making a return to give you a full recap of General Hospital. Never watched the show, so I know it's going to be good.
General Hospital or the...
Both.
GH. Okay. There you go. There you go.
All right. So, what did we think about this week's episodes of Days?
Excuse me. I found myself distracted a lot. Just not in it.
What were you doing during Days, Michael Mattes?
Laundry. Folding laundry. Looking at my phone. Checking out the gram.
I think it was a slow info week.
Like I mentioned that it seemed a lot of it seemed slow paced, and there were a few things that just came out of nowhere. Like, oh, that's happening today. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like each day kind of had its own little cliffhanger. So normally we always have to wait till Friday till we get that big cliffhanger. We have to wait till Monday. But, with Sin, it was Tuesday, then Jordan comes. That was kind of a cliffhanger leaving off of that. So, and then with Jennifer getting kidnapped, that happened Wednesday. So I think each day kind of had its own little cliffhanger. So it kind of kept me interested. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it. It's now time to start DISHIN Days.
Ta-da!
Ding ding. All right, let's go into our very first storyline, which is Jack, Jennifer, Eve, Dr. Shaw, Rolf, Kayla, and all these other people. Okay, now listen. We talked about this last week. I'm going to talk about it again. But I know that when it comes to this Dr. Shaw recast, it still baffles me, and I never knew how to quite put it into words until I saw this viral video hit it.
I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
That's exactly how I feel about this guy now playing Dr. Shaw. Sorry to this man, but I do not know who he is. He is not my Dr. Shaw.
Same.
The recast, though, nothing against this actor, but, just the way he's portraying it, he doesn't seem as likable as he was when we had the other Dr. Shaw. Because we were like, oh, Dr. Shaw, he's so perfect.
Well, and I think maybe behind the scenes that was the intent of the recast, to maybe not ruin the other actor, but I don't know, it's very disjolting because it's like I see this face and I'm like, I don't care that this guy is there's a disconnect there.
It's not
because it's not Dr. Shaw to me, and this actor only appeared once before.
Right, before all this stuff is happening.
Yeah.
But also, here's the other thing. So we find out that basically he's the one that destroyed the lab and also has kidnapped Jennifer. But then his whole reasoning behind it is kind of like, oh, so we're playing the role of the jilted lover this week.
Yeah.
And like, now listen, we as fans felt for Dr. Shaw. We were like, Jennifer, you have done this good guy wrong. But I don't feel it was necessary to now make him into a bad guy.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Like if he had done some petty stuff, like saw a nurse in the hospital and was like, oh, like this is my new girl. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that I can deal with.
Yeah.
But this whole destroying of the lab and now the kidnapping is kind of like, okay, now she dodged a bullet because you crazy.
And the second reason they're trying to justify his turn is because they took his lab. And I mean, it doesn't
like that was the final straw.
Yeah, like that's what drove him crazy, and that's why he like went off on Kayla, and Kayla fired him.
Yeah,
and so now he's exacting revenge by kidnapping Jennifer. And what's his end game? Like, what's the end? Like, what's the point of doing that? Just because he's angry? Like, there's no end. It just all was a mess to me, and I'm like, I know she's gonna get away. Like, she got out of her. I did like how she got out of her restraints, but then instead of like trying to immediately escape, when she heard him coming back, she got back into him and was faking that she was in it. I liked Jennifer Rose.
Yeah, the only part is like when she first escaped, or no, she got like the mouthpiece on. She just started screaming, and that part I didn't get because I'm like, what are you doing? Don't scream! He's gonna come back. So just try to get out of there. I think she caught on the second time around. That's why she played it smart. But the first time when she was able to get free, she started screaming. With Dr. Shaw, you know, he's just been stomped on over and over and over again. So I think his end game is like, hey, stop messing with me. And I think after, you know, okay, I can't get the girl, now my work's infected, and then now I got fired. I think that was just...
You don't kidnap people for that.
Wait, he got fired?
Yeah. Did I
miss that?
Yeah, because here's why. Because they created something that happened that we didn't see. That Kayla, what do you want to call it? What's the word?
Reiterated?
Reiterated.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought he got fired because he grabbed Kayla.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't. We didn't see it on screen because she was talking to, I think, JJ and Jack.
Yes.
And she mentioned Dr. Shaw, and he was like, "Oh, well, this happened last week," and so it was like a flashback. So Dr. Shaw came into Kayla and was like, "Why'd you give away my lab?"
Yeah.
And Kayla was like, "Something more important came up. Deal with it." She starts to walk out. He grabs her arm and says something, and then she's like, "Take your hand off my arm right now."
Yes.
So he did, and then she fires him.
Yes.
Got it. I saw all that, and then I must have.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. But again, like that's, I don't know. That's not for me. It's kind of like the way that they portrayed the character. He wouldn't have been that upset.
No, absolutely
You know what
not.
I mean?
He would have.
He would have.
He would have been a little miffed, but he would not have gone after Kayla like that, and he would not go and kidnap somebody.
Yeah,
it's all very disjolted, and I get the reasoning is they needed something. I think they needed something to bring Jack and Jennifer to, like, you know, reunite them in some way, and I think this is their way of doing it. But it at the expense of a character, and this character, good guy character, out of nowhere becoming like psycho. It just seems very contrived, and I'm not really buying it. But
well, see, here's the thing: if they wanted something that reconnected them, they could have done that when Jack was locked in like the storage room or something, and Jennifer came in and the box hit him. Yeah, and we thought that he was gonna get his memory back then, but he didn't.
He remembered a name of a boat.
Yes,
but he didn't remember anything.
Or the reenactment of when she came in as the fireman, like pretending like there was a fire and came in and like rescued him, which is what he did to her. Like, I feel like there were some times that they could have went ahead and just kind of gave the memory back, have them reconnected, or they could have saved that and put that here.
Exactly.
You know, like let everything else played out how it has. And then Jennifer is really just kind of like, I really want to, like, she has the idea of, you know what, maybe to recreate something to jolt his memory. And then some very loving, touching, like, ultimate Jack and Jennifer moment that all of us soap fans love and remember makes him remember, and everything starts flooding back.
Yeah.
I love that on this show we rewrite and write in.
See, how it should have happened
This is how
was.
it should have happened.
But like we felt bad for Dr. Shaw, and now it's just kind of like, one, you switched him. Two, he's now. This reminds me of what they did with Aiden. Aiden was this like really nice, different guy for Hope, and then they went a complete 180 with him, and we were just like, why'd you do that? And now I feel like we're like, why are you doing this with Dr. Shaw?
I feel like I would have been more okay with this had it been the original actor.
Yes.
Like, I would have been more. I still would have thought like it was unnecessary to tarnish this character, but I at least would have been like, oh yes, the Dr. Shaw that we know, and that we know has been dumped is doing this. But it's such a different actor. Like the differences is just too great. But, you know.
Jennifer in that room. Again, y'all have been kidnapped enough in Salem to know how to get your I almost said like get your ass out. Like the whole thing, and then I was like, in the screaming, I was like, girl, if you don't wait until you're completely out and like maybe out the window and then go running down the street like, help, you know, somebody in town knows you, you know what I mean? But then also, that's the other thing, Salem is so small, like when they get kidnapped and like shouldn't someone on the boat or be like, what you doing with Jennifer Horton? You know what I mean? Like,
someone would see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
I mean, no one, well, someone did see Kate. Like last week, she made it all the way from the cemetery to the hospital with no one helping her.
But no one helped her. They just said, hey, that's kind of weird. She's walking around.
Yeah.
Bloody.
So maybe the rest of Salem isn't that, you know, up here.
I don't know.
Anyway, so.
Well, and then there's, Eve is slowly just kind of.
They were really trying to make us believe that it was Eve with the 2 bags of food, which was never explained, I don't think.
Yes, it was her favorite brownies and something else from a bakery.
Okay.
That's what she said as she ate one.
Yes.
Got it, okay.
Yeah.
Again, must have been folding my drawers.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were really trying to make us believe that Eve did it, even with the gloves and stuff.
And Dr. Ralph, too, with the gloves. When he finally came back to the hospital,
Oh, right.
they focused on Eve's gloves and Dr. Ralph's gloves. But it was just too much of an easy target.
Yeah.
So.
Well, also, I was with, I can't remember who said this. Maybe it was Jack who said, well, Dr. Ralph, we told you to, like, go in the other room and, like, lay down. We didn't tell you to, like, run away. Because he just came back all casually, like, hello, people. I'm back. And it's like, it's not like you were in the other room.
Right.
Bitch, you've been, like, missing for days. Like, where have you been? Did you go to Napa to take a Napa? Like... I stole that from Sex and the City.
Who knows? It could probably be maybe another plan that might come that he was dealing with. Who knows?
No, he was frazzled, so he had to go like calm down about his stuff and.
But now they found Jennifer got a hold of her phone. She was able to text Jack and JJ. They're at the hotel, and now she's gone, and Dr. Shaw's gone.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I was mad that JJ was like, "Wait, it could be a trap." I'm like, if you don't get your ass to
I know,
over to the
you gotta
Salem
at least
Inn,
go and try. You gotta at least go and see.
Like, no one has time for
There's
this.
2 of you
Go.
anyway. Like, yeah.
Let's go.
Someone goes in you tag team it. Someone goes in the room. Someone is outside.
Yeah.
And JJ should know that. Why? Because he used to be a detective.
Yeah, well, then he finally clicked too, saying, oh, wait, we could track her phone through an app that I know of too. So that kind of took a while to get that going.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if it's an iPhone, you should be able to follow your people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And especially, again, in Salem, like, everybody should have something on their phone to where we can track your every move.
It just seems logical.
You need to.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're very invested in this, as you can tell.
Yeah, we're like,
yeah, no, whatever happens, happens.
Sorry to this man. All right, so now we have Eric, Nicole, Sarah, Xander, Kristen, and the baby.
Xander, I love him.
Y'all start.
He was so sweet to Sarah. He has his edge, because I know last week we were talking, okay, hope he doesn't lose his edge. He does have his edge. Anything that has to do with, well, when it was with Kristen, he was like, no, don't you dare get her involved. You cannot take her baby. He was very protective over that. And then with Eric, too, when Eric came in and, he was thinking, why are you talking to Sarah? You're with Nicole, okay? You need to chill out.
And I was totally on Xander's side in that conversation because Eric comes in there all self-righteous, like, what are you doing with Sarah? And it's like, get the F out of here.
Yeah.
What did he say?
What are you doing with Sarah? That's what he said. Exactly like that. Spot on.
What are you doing?
I want to take a clip of this
and I'm like,
and a clip of
go
him.
bang Nicole again. Leave Xander alone. He ain't doing nothing. Seriously, I get really angry when these self-righteous characters come in. They're
trying to play the hero.
Well, and even Sarah was like, he's not doing anything. Even Sarah was like, get the F out of here.
Well, she was like, you need to calm down.
Yeah. You need to calm down.
Oh.
You're being so loud.
Hey, you're knowing Taylor Swift.
I hear it on the radio.
Okay.
Side note, can we talk about the love making?
Yes, we can.
Listen.
Yeah, we shall.
I can't.
The love making.
I watched that episode last night after I got off work at the club. So it's late at night, I'm eating, and the scene comes on, and I'm just like, just kind of, then I'm like, it was just, I was like, okay, y'all are really going for these scenes now. Yeah. Which is great. I don't mind it. But
yeah, the love scenes are getting very, very saucy.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no more of that, there's a lot, like the tender ones where it's just like,
There's no more of this where you see them, and then maybe one gets thrown on the bed and then the other one goes down and it cuts to commercial, or where it's a tender thing and then they both kind of lie on, thump on the bed and kiss for a little bit, and then it's that and it fast forward and they've got the covers on them and stuff. Yeah. It's none of that anymore. We're just seeing all the progressiveness of this, and I'm just like,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think the love scenes were really good this week. I liked them.
Oh, there was another one.
Yes, there was. We'll talk about it later, but My Sin had an awesome love scene.
Did they?
Yes,
they did.
You forget?
They did.
They did.
Oh, yeah, because I remember y'all are sweaty.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're out of breath.
And that too. Yeah. Yeah. That was that.
I mean, there's love making and there's getting...
Giving him something he can feel.
People got this week.
And then Ben's like, I need my sunglasses. Yes. The light's shining bright.
Well, someone's shining bright.
He saw the Lord. Anyway.
So, Brady can't resist Kristen.
Yeah.
I guess I get it.
It seems kind of contrived to me. They're forcing it on us, almost. You know what I mean? Logically, after
all
of this has happened, he still can't control Brady Jr. when it comes to Kristen.
His urges?
Yeah. I feel like I don't really buy it. I'll go with it for now.
But John said he understood.
Yes, that was my point.
Yeah.
John said she has such a strong hold over a man.
I'm sorry. Yeah. John. Oh, yeah, because he's...
Yeah. When they're all trying to run.
I mean, I guess, of course, if anyone can relate to what Brady's been through, it's John. Because he went through the exact same thing with her 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want Brady to move on. I like that Kristen's still on the canvas, and I like that they're giving Stacey/Kristen storyline, but... something other than just going after Brady, maybe. Do
you guys see the spark in them? And if you guys are watching live and you're in our chat, or even if you're watching after, comment below with this question: do you guys see a spark between Kristen and Brady?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether we want it or not, there's a spark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see from Kristen's end that she is from all the stuff that she has done to get with Brady. Sure, that's love, her definition of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, her definition of love.
Or cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, whichever one you want to go with. But now this urge and temptation that Brady has, I don't know. A lot of people say that it makes him look very like a wimp. But that's something that makes his character a little interesting.
Well, in the character, I guess, okay, now that we're talking about this, the character does have vulnerability. He has vulnerability in his entire life, and that speaks to him being like an addict and an alcoholic and whatever. He's vulnerable. He's, I don't want to say weak. There's another term. I don't want to say weak because that's like a negative term. But anyway, you get my point.
Yeah.
Like he's susceptible.
It's a very realistic
So I mean, I guess it is
storyline.
kind of now that we're talking about, I guess it is in character for him. I don't know. It's like, okay, we're gonna do this again.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going with it. Okay.
But that's just how life is. I mean, whether it's alcohol or a person you're not supposed to be with, we've all been there having feelings for someone that we know we shouldn't have feelings for.
The chat room, I'm seeing a lot of, they're neutral on Kristen and Brady.
Yeah.
Like a lot of neutrals. No, like,
Yeah.
And then
there's a spark, but everyone's neutral.
Yeah.
But I like how Kristen is painting herself as like some saint now.
Oh, I know.
I love it.
She's done all this good in the
for
world.
love.
She's brought back
Mother
Eric
Teresa.
and Nicole. She's brought back
She reunited Tony and
Anna, and you know she's doing all this good. And Brady, why can't you see that I'm actually a good person? It's like,
And Xander wasn't buying it either.
no.
He was like, "Are you crazy?"
Speaking of Xander, okay. When you have tea and receipts, and you are not supposed to tell them, subconsciously, you tell yourself all the time, don't tell the secret, don't tell the secret, don't tell the secret. And what does Xander do? Tell the secret.
He was doing so good. He was doing so good last week, but
He needs
it
a friend.
just slipped.
He needs a friend. Listen, you always have that one friend that you confide into, and you tell them these famous words. Between you and I, here's the tea. And when you say between you and I, it's really between you and I and your next person that you trust that you can say between you and I too. Unless you're someone that can really keep a secret, then the buck stops there. But we all know in our head there's one more extra person that's really going to keep it quiet too, but you just have to get it out. So maybe that was Xander forgot that him and Kristen weren't in cahoots anymore. So when he spilled the tea about Sarah being pregnant, it was like, I shouldn't have said that. Because I don't like you right now. But then Kristen was just kind of like, thank you for this information. I think I'm going to steal another baby like I did Teresa.
That whole plot.
I was like, girl, stop snatching up embryos.
I know.
You are not a surrogate. No one asked you to no one asked you to hold nobody's baby.
I'm just wondering if Sarah's going to go through with it. Like, if she's going to do it. I mean,
If this is going to be
over
like,
abortion.
we just did this with Abigail a year and a half ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where she went to do it and then didn't do it. So the natural formula of this storyline is she's going to the doctor, someone's going to stop her, she ain't going to get it. That's what I'm guessing is going to happen because that is what's happened many a times. However,
Unless Kristen goes to the DeMera mansion, picks up the hospital uniform from Vivian, heads over to the abortion clinic, performs said operation, sticks it in her, and then, now she's pregnant.
that could happen.
And we also have Dr. Ralph in the mix, too. So.
Well, yeah, that's her plan.
That's her
Dr.
plan.
Ralph is here, so he can just do it for me. She's so excited about this plan too. Like she's going to Magic Mountain or something.
Because she's doing the world good.
She's doing the Lord's work.
Because it's all about love. I'm doing this for love.
What I did for love. Oh, wrong. Okay.
You and I went different directions.
Yeah, as always.
Yeah.
Mine was right. There's a part of me that just wants Sarah to pull Eric aside and say, listen, I'm pregnant. Yeah. This isn't a way to ruin or come in between you and Nicole. It's just how the cookie crumbles, And I don't know.
There's been storylines before where, even way back in the 80s, they did this on The Young and the Restless with our favorite Eileen Davidson when she was playing Ashley, where Ashley got pregnant by a married man, had the abortion. The married man found out about it, and it caused like this big drama. And I think even Mimi on Days had actually went through with it without the father knowing.
It was Sean's.
Was it Sean's or Rex's?
It was Sean's, I think. I think she was pregnant with Sean's baby and had the abortion.
Oh, okay.
And then,
because from what I remember,
right in the chat room, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was the abortion that broke up Rex and Mimi way back when. I thought that's what led to their breakup in the first place, and that's why Rex left town the first time. I could be wrong, but anyway. Should we move on?
Okay.
Or are we just gonna
ponder about it?
Ponder. It was Rex, says Man Lover 32.
Oh,
it's why Rex left in 2002.
No, it was Rex's baby.
No, Rex's baby.
No, she aborted Rex's baby. Okay, thank you. Well, then whose baby does she have now? Phillips?
Mimi?
Yeah.
Rex's. Again, for real. Remember? That's why Rex and Sarah... Not why Rex and Sarah broke up, but
That's right. The
baby Bonnie is Rex's.
Yes. Okay. I was like, wow. See, this is what happens
so
when you
much to
have
remember.
years and years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all. I just had a lapse in judgment.
It's cool. So we'll see if she goes through with it.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not too,
she
because
doesn't.
it's just like something, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, someone said something that made me chuckle. M.K. Fitz said, I would love to know when the last time was that a baby was conceived and there was no mystery around who the father is.
Yeah.
That just tickled me. That was funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. What pregnancy hasn't been who's the daddy?
Aren't they usually all who the daddy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. Okay, yeah, we covered everything.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's move on to.
It's Kate, Vivian, Will,
Them.
Sunny. Kate's still in a.
Poor Kate.
Vivian tried to off Kate.
By just holding the two.
Yeah.
I know.
I like for at one point I thought Kate was gonna wake up and just be like,
Let go.
"What are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, you know.
So Kate.
But she was just like, I can't breathe for some reason, and she's just sitting there just talking to her, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like you are really trying to off this woman. Like, let it go.
And now, because of that, Kate's in a coma. My issue with this whole Kate storyline is it's so far, it just seems like very anticlimactic. Like, we're finding out things, like, just kind of off the cuff. Like, I don't know, something's disjointed with me about it, because it's not as, like, this should be, like, a big thing. Like, a character that's been on the show for 22 years, was shot, is near death, is now in a coma. It didn't really start to reconcile with me until Lucas came back. They got Lucas back.
Yeah.
That was such a good scene when it was just the two of them and he's breaking down, just saying, you know, you're tough, but you're my mom. You got to make this through.
I'm not with Chloe anymore.
I know, he was like, come on, Mom, I'm not with Chloe, I ain't drinking. Wake up.
I'm not drinking, I've been sober. Okay, now wake up.
Brian Datillo is one of those actors who should teach, like, crying.
Yeah.
Because when he gets emotional and gets the tears and starts, like, you're like, oh my God, you just want to go up and, oh, it's okay, it's okay. You know, he's so good at that stuff.
I like when he's back on the canvas because he's someone that just brings something he brings this, like, light-hearted, no nonsense, kind of like his mom, but a little more lighter to Salem, that I wish they knew what to do with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Keep him around.
Yeah.
Keep Lucas around.
And then when he was on the phone and he was talking to, I'm assuming Austin, because then he said Billy, Billy's name, I was like, oh, are they all gonna come?
Maybe.
That would be
a Reed family reunion.
That would be interesting.
Because now the show has been doing like this beep bop 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 where people can just pop in and out. And I kind of, and we said this years ago, like we didn't understand why that couldn't happen before. Like if you really only need somebody for a couple of episodes, then like why not just do like a couple of episodes that may, or like when it's someone's wedding or funeral or something like that, you just kind of gather everybody, pay them a day rate and like, you know, and then like keep it moving. And you may have a line or two like, oh, what are you up to now, Chelsea? Oh, I'm over here, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
And then, bye, y'all. I'm going back to da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Well, it would be interesting if they bring Austin back, because I would like to explore that storyline with Carrie and them two, because Carrie came back
Yes.
and she just said, oh yeah, you know, we went our separate ways. And then now Austin's going to come back for Kate, and it would be great if we can kind of hear his side of his point of view.
Yeah, because if you guys have been watching Chad and Abby in Paris on the Dual app, Austin is there, and he made mention, I've only watched the 3 episodes, that, you know, they were split, and it's kind of like, oh, it's nice, like we said, to see things off camera, things that are happening off camera, on camera.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I would like to see the Reed family back.
Yeah.
They were a good group when it was like, and go off for a second, when it was like Lauren Koslow, Krista Allen, Austin Peck, and Brian Datillo as the Reed family. I felt like that was like the quintessential Reed family. And then, you know, they brought in a couple other actors, like Lisa Rinna came back, and then Julie Pinson came in. But those four as that family, they just all fit. Like you thought they were family. Like you bought it.
Yeah, for sure.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good.
Happy times. Good times. I'm over this new Vivian now. I was on board with her. Totally on board with her last week. Then this week, she was just too extra. I was like, she's like a cartoon character. I don't respect the character anymore.
I think there are things that we are used to about Vivian that I think is missing. Yeah, because I feel like, again, Vivian thinks she's like a Kate, but she's actually like the kookier side. Like if her and Kate were sisters, she's the kooky one.
That'd be a good storyline. Kate and Vivian being related.
Hilarious.
Well, I saw this week, I just kind of watched older episodes with the original Vivian and compared it to now, and it's just what's missing is the poise, I think, of Vivian.
That's what it is.
And
that energy of her.
Yes, it's just so offbeat with this new Vivian.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, it can't just be, like, it's a new actress, it can't just be a carbon copy of the way Louise Sorel did it. As an actress, I'm sure she wants to do it her way, and I respect that. After this week, I was like, I don't need this anymore.
Well, I feel like if they keep talking in the DeMera mansion about what has happened, Will is going to stumble upon that tea, because he walked and the way
no security,
so nothing. So I thought it was odd the way he was creeping into the DeMera mansion. Like, I was like, oh, so you actually are here to collect tea?
He's there to snoop.
Yeah, because he was just like, and you know,
it wasn't one of those they're walking in and no, it was
like he kind of like, hello. You know, it was kind of like, you know, he was sneaking in, and then you know how Days does like their little sound, so you hear that ding dong boom dong 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 dong, and then it goes to Corday Productions.
Yes.
I don't know why I pay attention to those sounds. Like, I don't know. Just like
I mean, we watch it like, you know,
every
5
day.
days a week, so it gets
stuff
into you. Like the Golden Girls music is in my head all the time.
This is true.
When I'm walking into work, like, that's my life. To the theme of Golden Girls.
When something is about to happen, I hear the do 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 do.
It's like some.
We're so silly.
We are an interesting bunch here, aren't we?
All right, so
I have a question about the DeMera Mansion.
Yes.
How many more tunnels or how many more, like, secret compartments are they going to make in that house before nothing is supporting it and it just crumbles to the ground? I'm like, what is it? Like, all of a sudden he pushes the button and this secret little drawer comes out and it's like...
But you remember that's been there.
Has that been there?
Yeah. Who used to use it a lot? EJ. Like, back when EJ was on.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like something was hidden in there, like a file or something was hidden in there years ago. Yeah.
Maybe it was, and I just forgot.
But they hadn't used it in a while.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back.
Random. I was like, this is the freaking Jetsons' house.
But I love that she like stuffed her uniform in there.
She didn't stuff it in.
It was.
He stuffed it in there. He went snooping because he's keeping tabs on her. So he found it and stuffed it in there. It's fine.
Yeah, because he like
I watched a completely different show.
pulls it out. She's like, you can't. Why'd you go through my room? You went through my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she threatened to kill him.
Oh, and he took that to heart. He was
like space. I need space. Do you remember that part?
And she was like, never mind. And she's like, space. She's like, you got it. Like, she backed off.
And then she got really, I'm sorry,
I'm so sorry. You're the love of my life.
Again, I was just listening to, like, I don't think I was watching. I was listening. And I was just like, and I think in my mind, I was just like, oh, okay, they're talking about, I was like, got it. And
she made a comment about how something like, oh, if he didn't back off, that his grave, I'll dig your grave next.
Yes.
Oh. Do.
So
that's all that she has.
Well,
right
and
now.
he explains to her that the reason he's, more pro Kate is because of Gabby.
Yes.
And she's like, you're taking the side of someone you've known 5 minutes. I gave birth to you. But then I thought, wait, Vivian and Stefan haven't known each other that long. If the storyline dictated that they only had found each other recently.
Before she brought him back to Salem.
Yes.
So, you probably have known each other the same amount of time. Or Stefan has probably known Gabby the same amount of time that he's known Vivian. But
Candace Mack asks, Tony, what were you watching? No idea. I have no idea what show I was watching this week. Apparently, I have taken rewriting the show to heart so well that I actually sit there and I'm picturing completely different stuff.
I do that too. I think now how I would have done this was.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's how I find myself doing that. When I watch Robin as Vivian, I think, how will Louise Sorel do this? Like, I hear the lines, and then I try to picture Louise Sorel doing it, and then that's when I determine whether or not, because I did that for a little bit with Stacey. Yeah. How would Eileen do this? And once I started feeling like Stacey was getting it, which it didn't take that long, I was just like, oh, like she got it. And when she was here and she was telling us how she studied how Eileen portrayed the character, I had even more respect because she was trying to stay true to to the foundation of the character.
Yes.
I think wisdom from Tony, in a recast, it's already very hard to go in being a recast, and we've said this time and time again, and we don't expect an exact portrayal, but if you at least have the foundation of the character, how that character kind of speaks and moves and things like that, and then on top of that foundation you now add your own house, we're here for it. But you can't just look at the foundation and go, oh, and then try to rewrite history. You know what I mean? Especially on a very Now, the guy who played Dr. Shaw,
different story.
He didn't really have that much of a foundation. So, he could add to the foundation and then build his house on top of it. Y'all are surprised that I'm using construction as a way to describe this. Y'all didn't know I was a little butch.
Little's right.
Try my life. Okay, well,
that was all that happened with that.
Yeah.
Kate's still in a coma. Lucas showed up. And Vivian's still trying to kill her.
And they're asking about her prognosis, and it's not looking good. So we'll find out next week. All right, a little bit of business before we go into our tidbits. We just want to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. Now, for us to continue to grow, we need your help. If you're listening or watching, if you're on YouTube right now, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us 5 stars. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so that you are involved in the conversation. Thank you to those who are watching us live and in our conversation right now. We truly appreciate you. Being a part of AfterBuzz has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate your continued support, especially with DISHIN Days. We truly support the show. But don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying your show. Oh, so you just walk in the middle of the show and just decide you're just going to do that? Hi, how are you? You know what? I kind of wish you had came in later.
Oh, but we were watching. I was like, well, I'm gonna go now while he's doing the tidbits.
You're gonna go now because now you're about to leave.
No, we're filming something else, but I want to come and say hi.
Oh, look everybody, it's Mark Chase Freeman.
And I'm not caught up.
You don't need to be this
well, we
week.
know
It's
we
fine.
know what you are caught up with is the fact that you don't like the new Vivian.
Yeah,
either.
that's what we were just talking about, Vivian.
Girl, I ran into Marcy on
did you?
Friday, and we were talking about, and I was just like, girl, I can't.
He tells us this in our group chat.
Hashtag,
too.
let's make it go viral. Hashtag, not my Vivian.
Oh!
Not mine. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Hey, Mark, make sure you pay attention to the show later. There's a special tribute to you.
Oh, shit.
Mark J. Freeman, everybody.
Yay!
All right, so now tidbits. Let's breeze through these and then we'll keep it going. So we have Julie, Doug, Hope, Gabby, Lonnie, and Eli. I do feel like Gabby feels very bad for this, for what she did to Julie. But everyone keeps looking at her like, "What you doing here?"
Yeah.
But this week, I continue to notice the growth of Gabby because I feel like old Gabby, when she was confronted by Lonnie, would have went, "What do you mean?" But this time she was like, "Bitch."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like there was a
getting
difference
more
in
assertive,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that. I like that. Any other thoughts about?
Julie still. I mean, Julie hasn't changed.
I think Kayla is right when she says that Julie is not being 100% honest about her feelings about the whole situation. I think she's trying to be strong, you know, especially with her being like, "I'm going home," and it's like, Doug's like, "Girl, where are you going? You can't go anywhere."
Julie and Doug, though, they got my heart this week. When he was lying in the bed with her, trying to calm her down because she wasn't feeling good after he went to go get her food. So it's really starting to hit her like, okay, I'm in trouble. Oh, Doug and Julie.
I know.
Yeah.
Those are some sweet, tender moments that they have, though. But I hope nothing happens to her.
I don't think,
No.
No, like Kate, same with Kate and Julie, like, they're trying to make us think that both are gonna,
Yeah.
go, but I don't think either of them are.
I hope not.
No.
I really hope
It'd be a
not.
good twist to see how it's all going to come out, play
Plot
out.
twist.
Twist.
And then it's almost like, just in case, where's Dr. Roth with that needle and that serum?
Where is he?
Is she
Serum.
going? Got it.
Serum.
All right, so then we have
Ben and Sierra.
Sin, Rafe,
Sin.
Jordan, and David.
Sin. Okay.
You can take
There's
this one.
there's just so much I have to say. I get, because I've been reading your tweets, I get where people are saying, okay, Ben, did kill people. So,
We're still on that?
yeah, they're still on that. But the thing is, though, I just feel like they gave Ben such a hard time coming back into Salem. And yes, even though Jordan did not kill Sierra, if Ben did not save her,
She didn't kill anyone.
well, she didn't kill anyone. But if Ben did not come to save Sierra, I think there would have been blood on her hands.
But there wasn't. You can't. That's hearsay, or
But-
speculation.
So
as they
I
say
think
in
people
the
are
court.
just kind of saying,
Allegedly.
on la la.
okay, they're not, even though she's in town, they're not really being that hard on her. And now that's when something bad's going to happen. So that's the only thing that kind of
we've only
hurts
seen
me.
how hard. You keep saying they. We haven't
Well,
seen.
everyone. I feel like everyone in Salem. Because even with
Well,
John...
we haven't seen her with anybody yet except
It's
Rafe
hard on
and Sierra
Jordan?
and Ben.
Yeah, no, I mean, because even like with John and Relena, when they when Relena read the text,
that's
Jordan
right.
got released. John's like, oh, well, hopefully it's, everything's going to be okay. But, everyone's just kind of like, I kind of want them to have their guard up a little bit more around her. And I just feel like they don't.
She didn't kill people. That's a legitimate argument,
I know,
Chelsea.
but she's
she
still
didn't
dangerous.
kill people.
Not
She
yet.
may have the capacity to kill.
Well, no.
But it's speculation of whether she would or not.
Here's the thing. I see where Chelsea is coming from because someone who has the ways of Jordan, you have to kind of watch her with one eye.
Yeah.
Because although she seems very poised and very put together, I think in her head, you hear, You know what I mean? Like,
okay, wait. Katie Westfall. Jordan admitted to killing her mother and the baby her mom was carrying. I forgot about that.
Oh.
So you're wrong.
Okay.
So she killed
Maybe
two.
I'm a little wrong.
You're a little wrong.
It wasn't 3 people.
Okay, no, it wasn't 3 people. But I did like,
They're just both crazy.
Yes, but I did like, though, we'll get into this a little bit later, but with Ben, he's so nervous to even be around little David. And Jordan is just like, so if Jordan should be a little nervous, too. Should be like, you know what, I want to make sure, I know she's trying to protect her son, but... Ben is really trying, and Ben didn't get that upset when Jordan was like, "You're not going to see him." He just kind of said,
stay cool.
He did stay cool. It was Sierra who was like,
Yeah.
So that already shows how much growth Ben has, because he's not trying to push Jordan. He's just like, "Look, I know I've been through what you're going through, just getting out of Bayview. So take your time, but I still want to be a part of your life." I thought that was really cool of him to say that.
It shows that she's crazy when she's like, "I don't want you near my baby." And it's like, but girl, you think you should be near your baby?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense. Also, I'm going to go back to this. Matthew Kennedy said Hope killed Stefano. Yep. Listen, I feel like everybody in Salem has probably accidentally or, killed someone. Annie Golan says, let's be honest, if Jordan was a man and was hot with abs like Ben, she would get a pass like he is. No, that is not how you get a pass. Although Ben is fine, real fine, we have seen the steps that he has taken, the acknowledgement that he has taken since he returned to Salem. Taking ownership of what he's done, taking ownership of the fact that he wasn't in his right mind, taking ownership of going to therapy and getting his self together, taking ownership of getting the correct medicines, but also to layer all that on top of his love for Sierra and Sierra's love for him. So that we have seen them rebuild this character as they have rebuilt many characters after a lot of wrongdoing. So to keep saying that, to keep going back to, well, he was the necktie killer. Well, yes, he was back then. And back then, yeah, we didn't like Ben. But now he has saved many people. He has kind of found himself on the straight and narrow path. So at some point you have to say, you know what, I'm going to forgive, but I ain't going to forget. But I'm going to forgive and move on. Move on. Like he killed, but again, he wasn't in his right frame of mind. That's like when people are mercenaries and they used to be in mind control of Stefano and they did things. We forgive. We move on.
People are having a real hard time forgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, this one I kind of noticed with this story plot.
Like no one is saying forget, but
no, we're not saying forget.
But like forgive and allow this character to grow. This character has grown since the necktie killer. Yeah, we all wanted to take a necktie and wrap him around and be like, now how I feel. But like now we're like, you're great. We love it.
Yes.
Sorry, that was a rant.
No. I liked it. That was a good rant.
I'm over it.
He's over it.
I'm over it. Let the chips fall where they may with this storyline.
Come what bang. You wanted to talk about the love scene?
Oh, yes. Let's get to it. That love scene. I just got to say, if a guy carries me to the bed like that, I'm on board. That was good.
Oh, carry you to that small-ass bed?
Hey. If it's someone that looks like Ben, I'm fine. It could be a twin-size bed.
Just because they look good don't mean they can, I'm speaking from experience. Just because they're good looking don't mean they can get the job done. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I feel like we need to move on. And also, Jordan, let Ben be a part of David's life. Like,
did you see that little duck he bought? That was cute.
It was very cute.
Yeah.
The whole situation. Just going to see how this storyline.
Someone mentioned, I think Katie. Where is it? She was like, it's a lose-lose situation. They're both like, they both have like blood on their hands. So yeah, it's you have to understand. You can, I don't know. It's hard to choose a side for me.
It is hard. And I'm a sin lover, but I'm still stuck in the middle with it. Like I'm not full 100% with what Ben, but yet again, I'm not fully like against it. I'm just like kind of with you, Tony. I forgive, but you don't forget.
You don't forget.
You don't forget.
But you forgive. Like I'm forgiving the fact that Ben and Sierra have a twin-size bed. I forgive y'all. I'm not ever gonna forget, but I forgive
you.
Just saying. All right, Victor and Maggie. Maggie was not having it.
No, she was not.
But she always has to have these moments with Victor, and it's like, girl, Victor, just sit in your chair and read your newspaper and let Brady run Titan and other things.
I know. Let go of the power.
Let go and let God.
This love he has for Sierra, however you pronounce it, don't care right now.
Depending on who you are.
Out of nowhere, how he's like puts her on this pedestal about how she's the one that's going to carry the family and the business. It just is coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, probably because sitting there thinking, reading the Salem Gazette, he was just kind of like, well, Brady is Xander. Who can, like, you know, Sonny? Who else can? Sierra.
Okay.
So maybe
she's a smart girl.
Maybe
I agree that she's up to the
Smart
task.
girl.
It's just like, oh yeah, this came out of nowhere.
Because again, Sierra could be a Kate, but like a good version of Kate.
I would want her to be like not a good version of Kate. I would want her to have that edge.
She'll
have
the edge.
I think she can.
She'll have an edge because
she won't frame people for murder though. Is that what you're saying? Like, she won't.
She comes from a very strong, like, background. Like, look at Victor. Look at Bo. Look at Hope. You know what I mean? Like, these people are very strong people and strong-minded people. So,
Yeah.
Just saying.
She's getting her edge, though.
Yeah.
Definitely this week.
Tony, Anna, John, and Marlena. First of all, I love Tony and Marlena. I like that relationship, and I hope they continue to explore that. I love the fact that Anna went to Kristen and was like, Heifer, you gonna listen to me. You gonna get my man off. I understand that you have kept him alive. That is great. You have reunited us, and it feels so good. However, comma, you are going to go to the police and make sure that I get to keep my man. Or go to court.
I forgot what Anna's line was when she exited, but then she gave Kristen like the look
evil
back.
eye?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love Anna.
Yes.
I love her
she
so
said
much.
she said something because both Anna said it, and then also Jack and JJ, and it was something along the lines of basically like that's why no one loves you.
You don't
like
have any friends, yeah.
Yeah, like you're alone, girl, because while you think you're doing good, you not. You are selfish and all about yourself.
Yeah. But then when you bring in love into the mix, it does a 360 with Kristen.
What's love got to do with it?
Love.
I don't know. Tina asked that question a long time ago. We're still trying to figure it out. All right. And that was the week.
That was it, yeah.
All right. That was the week of days. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, which are our segments. And we're going to start with mine with Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. All right, now listen. We have been talking about the recast of Vivian, and I think that the one thing that you guys have missed are the wigs that have been provided for this character. When I tell you the wigs have just been everything, and then this past week, with the dawn of a new wig, I thought to myself, that wig looks very familiar. And it does, because it's a part of the Lorraine Love Mark J. Freeman collection. And I was like, if they ever need like a stand-in of some sort of Vivian, you can use Lorraine Love. So, my 3 Snaps Award goes to the things that make you look beautiful and wonderful and lay on top of your head to make you feel like the Vivian you want to. My 3 Snaps goes to Vivian's wigs this week. That's what gets Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right. And now it's time for...
We need the lights flickering for this.
I know.
They need to like slowly like
There you have it.
dim and come up. And reporting to you live, sort of, from the Palm of the Springs, here's our very own Tammy Govea.
Hi everyone, Tammy Gouveia here in Palm Springs, California at the Tropical Restaurant with this week's Designer Days. And it is going to Miss Stacy Hajduk. Miss Kristen DeMera is in this beautiful cream colored blouse from Top Shop. Long sleeve, button down front, polyester, which I love because you can just toss it into the washing machine. Now on Nordstroms.com it's sold out, but go onto their website, check out the other options that Topshop has. Really affordable clothing, tops, dresses, slacks, you name it. So this week, Stacy Hajduk, you get Designer Days.
That drink is huge.
I know.
She's going to drink it all.
That's why when she sent us the video saying have a good show, and she was like, okay, you see the video pan and you see the dogs in the frame, and then she's like, where are the dogs? It's like, they're right there.
Shout out to Tammy Gouveia.
Hey, Tamala.
Tammy,
That has been And now it's time for
Mark's Quote of the Week. Wrong.
Nope.
There we go. Mark's Quote of the Week was hashtag not my Vivian.
Yeah,
That was
much.
it.
Pretty much.
This week's caption comes courtesy of the beautiful Leanne Hunley, pointing her finger and telling Kristen something. So this week's caption goes to Sal Corrente on Instagram, and it's with his caption, you know, you look just like a girl I met in Wisconsin named Patty. It's a YNR reference.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
I have to explain. I thought it was funny. When Young and the Restless takes place in Wisconsin, and Stacy used to play a character named Patty. There you go.
All she needed was a cat bag.
Mr. Kitty.
and that has been
Caption there.
And now it's time for
Hey, what? It's like, aww. All right, so for this week, Sierra takes my awe moment. One thing I love with this relationship is with Sin, I always feel like Ben is the one having, confronting Sierra, making her feel good about herself. But Ben, we see a vulnerable moment here where he does not feel like he's good enough to be the uncle for little David. So I just love how she's confronting him. And with Ben, he's like, there are people in this town that still think I'm a murderer. Sierra, yeah, but they don't know you. I know you. Ben, what happens when little David finds out what Ben did? Sierra, if the day comes where he hears about the kind of person Uncle Ben used to be, he will know it has nothing to do with the man you are now. There is a reason why I love you so damn much. You are a good person. I just hope one day you can see yourself the way I do. So Sierra, you get my awe moment of the week.
And that has been
Hey, what? It's like, aww. Oh, Sin.
all right. And now it's time for some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
And before we do news and gossip, shout out to Me World's old shiz moment of the week. We'll be sure to retweet that on our Twitters.
Okay, there is still time to get your tickets to join Freddie Smith, Alyssa Tabbitt, and Eric Martsolf for breakfast in Studio City, California next week, September 28th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Breakfast is included with the event ticket. They will email you the restaurant location within 48 hours of purchasing your ticket. You can find more info and buy a ticket at www.thepivotprinciple.shop.
And there's also still time to make plans to join Eric Martsolf and Robert Scott Wilson in Montreal on Saturday, October 19th. Events include a meet and greet, a VIP dinner, and dance party with the guys. Proceeds from the event benefit Cedars can support, and you can buy your tickets and get complete info. Head to eventbrite.ca and search Days of Our Lives.
And lastly, there's still time to get your tickets to Starstruck Fan Event's annual Yesterday's event here in LA. Attendees include Nadia Bjorlin, Vincent Irizarry, Olivia Rose Keegan, Patrika Darbo, Guy Wilson, and many, many others. There's also a VIP reception with Ari Zucker and Sean Christian, before the event. For tickets and information about all of Starstruck's upcoming events with Eric Martsolf can be found at starstruckfanevents.com and on Twitter at starstruckfans2.
Shade on Shady Sundays. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show.
Yes.
Before we head out, Michael Mattis, let the kind folks know where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on the gram, the Instagram at MLMattis, and on the Twitter at MLMattis1.
And you can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker and on Twitter at Chels Overocker.
And you can find all of us on Facebook and Instagram, Dishin Days, and _Dishin Days on Twitter. And you can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's some stuff coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for another full recap of AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. We will see you next week for yet another. Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.